Hello, I'm Noyan. Today I will present my paper about literature review. First of all, let's start with our contents. I will explain you the introduction, research methodology, literature review, conclusions, and references. The concept of risk and risk assessment has a history of more than 2,400 years. The Athenians offered their capacity of assessing risk before making decisions. However, risk assessment and risk management as a scientific field is young and not more than 3 or 4 decades. Majority of the researchers approach to risk management in construction projects using a reductionist approach that produces poor results and limits the quality of project management. Generally, risk is handled through the application of contingencies or flaws that are not determined based on a comprehensive analysis of the risks that can affect a particular project. Then, in most of the cases, projects end with costs overrun and late. The research objectives are threefold in our paper. The first objective is to analyze the existing literature concerning the concept of risk, risk management, and methods using in managing risks. Secondly, this article tries to focus on historical development of the field. And finally, this article addresses the lack of a systematic review and content analysis of published articles related to risk quantification, and it provides researchers with data on the risk quantification. Let's talk about our research methodology. This study is based on a comprehensive literature review of recently published between 2010 and 2020 relevant articles. The literature is consisting of mainly on peer-reviewed articles published in academic journals specialized in construction management, project management, and risk analysis. The following databases were utilized for researching relevant articles: Emerald, Web of Science, and Science Direct. In addition to this, the published literature on the Google Scholar search engine was scrutinized in order to support reviewing the literature. As a result of this research, more than 200 articles have been found. However, only 56 articles were found to be more relevant. Let's continue with the literature review. Risk management is a systematic approach to dealing with risk. A risk management system should establish an appropriate context, set goals and objectives, identify and analyze risks, influence risk decision-making, and monitor and review risk responses. Risk management is about defining sources of uncertainty, estimating the consequences of uncertain event conditions, generating response strategies in the light of expected outcomes, and finally, based on the feedback received on actual outcomes and risks emerged, carrying out identification, analysis, and response generation steps repetitively throughout the life cycle of a project to ensure that the project objectives are met. Risk analysis or an assessment is the process that focuses on evaluating, seeking the likelihood in which potential risks in the risk identification stage may occur, and it is implemented by two approaches. First one is qualitative risk analysis, and second one is quantitative risk analysis. In qualitative risk analysis process, the main focuses are rating and prioritizing individual project risks for further analysis or action by assessing their probability of occurrence and severity of consequence or impact, as well as other characteristics. On the other hand, quantitative risk analysis process focuses on numerically analyzing the combined effects of identified individual project risks and other sources of uncertainty on overall project objectives. As you can see, there is a table classification of articles conducted on risk-related topics. It continues for 2 pages, and you can see that risk management in construction, a literature review, classification headline, and these authors have made their researches according to this headline, and risk management maturity assessment model for construction, risk impact factors and risk response strategies, general risk assessment modeling, risk management in small construction first, qualitative risk analysis, and the others are continued, just so on. And as the conclusion, this study is based on a comprehensive literature review of recently published between 2010 and 2020 relevant articles over last decade on risk management in construction projects. By means of this study, it can be stated that researchers have shown a remarkable contribution towards risk identification and assessment, and considerable progress has been made. But it is unfortunate that there is still a wide gap between theory and practice. From the result, it can be specified that risk quantification, risk response, risk monitoring, and control were not taken into consideration by the researchers, and keywords of the disregarded issues are less addressed than the other ones. It can be stated from the study that between 2010 and 2020, among the examined published articles, only few attempts by Moselli et al., Tahim, Muriana et al., Nasirzade et al., and Zadeh et al., Furnis et al., Abdelgawat et al. Have been made related to risk quantification of the construction projects. The majority of the mentioned researchers approach to risk quantification with a fuzzy-based risk allocation model. To conclude, the construction industry has a risky nature, and the present methodologies, theories, and tools are deficient in capturing the accurate picture of risk quantification. As this study is a literature review article, the references are too long. Due to this reason, the references aren't specified in this presentation. Thank you for listening.